Welcome to the Copperfield Electric Podcast.
Glad to be here for this one.
Yeah, we've got a really great deep dive for you today. We're stepping outside the house, literally. We're looking at the hidden infrastructure of your property, specifically that electrical grid operating right outside your walls.
Which is something a lot of homeowners just kind of, overlook until there's a problem.
Exactly. And to equip you with the knowledge to keep your home and family safe from these outdoor electrical hazards, we have two really solid sources on the table today.
Right.
First, we're pulling from the company briefs of Copperfield Electric. They're a premier 24-hour electrician service right out of Orange County. And second, we've got a recent article from March 9th, 2026 by Renee Hernandez titled Safe Current, Essential Guide to Outdoor Electrical Security.
And synthesizing these two gives us a really clear picture. I mean, electricity powers our modern outdoor lives in ways we couldn't have imagined 20 years ago.
Oh, sure.
But putting live electrical currents into an environment governed by nature, where you've got unpredictable weather and constant UV exposure, it requires a very specific kind of vigilance.
It really does. I like to think of your outdoor electrical safety as this unseen armor for your home. And if you're going to fortify that armor, you need to know the baseline capabilities of the professionals who can actually help you do it.
Absolutely.
Which is why we're anchoring today's topic with Copperfield Electric.
Huh.
Looking at their background, they're a family-owned, fully licensed business license number 1094740, to be precise. Bonded, insured, operating right out of Tustin, California, at 1581 Copperfield Drive.
And their geographical footprint is just massive. They serve across Southern California's Orange County. We're talking Irvine, Anaheim, Santa Ana, Costa Mesa.
Newport Beach.
Yeah, Newport, Laguna Beach, Mission Viejo.
Yes.
Plus Huntington Beach, Orange, and Fullerton.
That is a huge area.
It is. And from an engineering perspective, that geographical diversity is fascinating. A technician working on a panel box in the salty, humid air of Newport faces entirely different corrosion challenges than a setup baking in the dry heat of Santa Ana.
Oh, that makes total sense. And what I love is their availability. Because, let's be real, a main breaker failing after a storm doesn't really stick to a neat 9-to-5 schedule.
No, it does.
So they offer 24/7 emergency support and after-hours availability. But beyond emergencies, they handle a vast array of services, right?
Oh, yeah. Standard residential and commercial installations, sure. But they heavily involved in modern upgrades, EV charger installations, the necessary electrical panel upgrades to handle those chargers, and energy-efficient LED lighting retrofit.
Which is a huge deal right now.
It's the future of home infrastructure. And what stands out in their documentation is their core philosophy. They have a 100% satisfaction guarantee, competitive pricing, and this concept of honest troubleshooting.
Right. Diagnosing a problem only if it truly exists.
Exactly. They aren't just upselling hardware, they find the actual bottleneck.
I love their tagline for that. You've got enough worries, let us take care of the lights.
It's a solid promise.
So with that local expertise in mind, let's pivot to the actual physical challenges these systems face. Looking at Renee Hernandez's article, Safe Current, we need to unpack why outdoor electricity is just inherently riskier than indoor.
Well, the article strips away this very common assumption that outdoor wiring is just indoor wiring that happens to be outside. Right. It's not. The environmental stressors are relentless. You've got moisture, soil, open air, rain.
Heat?
Yeah, intense heat. And it's not just water. It's the photochemical degradation from ultraviolet radiation. Constant sunlight literally breaks down the plasticizers in standard cable jacketing.
It's like, okay, think of taking a high-end tuxedo out into a rainstorm.
That's a great way to put it.
Right. Because a tuxedo is this beautifully engineered garment, but it's meant for a climate-controlled ballroom. The second you expose it to mud and harsh elements, the materials just aren't meant to handle it without proper protection. Indoor electrical equipment is the exact same way.
The material science just doesn't support the application. When those microscopic fissures form from UV exposure or constant wear, the insulation fails, and that exposes the conductive copper wire to everything.
Which leads to the severe stakes Hernandez outlines. We're talking electric shock, catastrophic electrical fires, and severely damaged cords.
The risks are incredibly high.
So we need active defense. And Hernandez introduces these golden rules of defense, starting with the absolute holy grail of outdoor safety, the GFCI.
Ground fault circuit interrupters.
Yes. For you listening, these are those outlets with the little test and reset buttons on them. But how do they actually work? What is the magic happening behind the wall?
It's essentially a highly sensitive current monitor. A GFCI continuously measures the electricity flowing out and the current returning. Under safe conditions, those two measurements are identical.
Okay.
But if the GFCI detects a differential of even 4 or 5 milliamps, which is tiny, it shuts off the power instantly. It assumes that missing electricity is finding an unintended path to ground.
Like through a puddle of water.
Or a person. It drastically reduces the risk of a fatal shock by cutting the power in a fraction of a second.
It's an incredible piece of safety tech. But the article gives a pretty stark warning here. Older homes might not meet these current safety standards.
They almost certainly don't, unless they've been updated.
Right, so if your home has legacy, unprotected outlets on the patio, making that professional upgrade is absolutely essential.
It's non-negotiable for modern safety. Which brings us to the second major rule Hernandez brings up, the cords.
Yes, the classic listener mistake.
Using extension cords as permanent solutions.
Guilty as charged, honestly. It's so easy to just run a heavy-duty orange cord out to some string lights and just leave it there for a year.
We all see it, but those cords are temporary bridges. Indoor rated cords or even outdoor cords left out indefinitely degrade rapidly outside. Hernandez provides a reality check on this.
You have to look for physical signs of danger, right?
Exactly. You're looking for cracks in the casing, frayed wires, and loose plugs. When a plug sits outside, the metal prongs oxidize. That creates resistance, which generates heat, which greatly increases the chance of an electrical fire.
Wow.
Yeah, so proper storage is key. Only use weather-resistant, outdoor-rated equipment, and put the cords away when you're done.
Makes total sense. So let's shift to the patio itself, capacity and climate. Because if you picture a typical patio setup today, it is wild.
It's a high-capacity entertainment zone.
Totally. You've got ambient lights, maybe a smoker or a grill, power tools, chargers, fans, all plugged into one spot.
And that outlet overload is incredibly dangerous. Hernandez analyzes this deeply. Too many connections cause significant heat buildup hidden inside the wiring in your walls.
Because you're pulling too much current.
Right. A standard residential exterior circuit is maybe 15 or 20 amps. If you push it beyond its thermal limit, you damage the wiring and you risk a fire. The golden rule he shares is to limit connections to one outlet per device.
One outlet per device.
And if you need more outlets...
You install more outlets. You don't just daisy chain power strips.
Exactly. Don't add splitters, add infrastructure. Now, we also have to talk about water safety. It's the oldest rule in the book. Water and electricity do not mix.
You really don't.
Hernandez details specific actions you have to take here. Obviously, never handle cords with wet hands. But also, you need to use weatherproof covers during rain or snow.
And not just those flat flap covers.
Right, because once you lift the flap to plug something in, the outlet is totally exposed. You need the in-use covers, the bubble covers that enclose the entire plug while it's connected. Even minor moisture exposure is a major shock risk.
Absolutely. Now, looking up from the patio, the host brings up, I'm bringing up hidden threats, overhead hazards, power lines near trees or patios.
This is a critical point in the article. People have this terrifying misconception that you have to directly touch a high voltage line to get shocked.
But you don't.
You don't. You have to treat all overhead lines as live. Electricity can jump or arc through the air if a conductive object gets too close. Keep your ladders, tools, and trees far away.
And Hernandez is very firm about post-storm damage. If there's a heavy storm and a branch is touching a line, do not touch it.
Never.
A living tree branch is full of water and highly conductive. Handling that must only be done by utility professionals.
Attempting to clear that yourself is just an unjustifiable risk.
Which transitions us perfectly into our final section, when to call those professionals. Hernandez includes an FAQ about identifying red flags.
These are the urgent warning signs that your system is actively failing.
Flickering outdoor lights, burning smells like ozone, or melting plastic and frequent breaker trips.
And we should synthesize why those are so critical. A flickering light means a voltage drop, usually from corroded wiring. A burning smell is a definitive sign of arcing electricity jumping a gap and superheating the air.
That's terrifying.
It is. And a tripping breaker is a safety mechanism. If you just keep resetting it without fixing the root cause, you are forcing electricity back into a failing system.
You're just asking for a fire at that point.
Exactly. While you can manage basic cord safety and swap out a weatherproof cover, professional inspections are absolutely vital for detecting these hidden hazards.
And this is exactly where a trusted partner like Copperfield Electric comes in. Their seasoned technicians provide that honest troubleshooting we talked about. They find the actual problem, which saves you money in the long run and prevents these catastrophic failures.
They have the specialized equipment to test insulation resistance and verify grounding pathways that a homeowner just can't do.
Right. And you can reach them directly at 626-622-9694 for a free quote or emergency service. Again, that's 626-622-9694.
Having a vetted professional on speed dial is just smart property management.
So let's quickly recap the primary takeaways for everyone listening. First, upgrade your outdoor outlets to GFCI. Second, ditch the indoor extension cords and don't treat outdoor cords as permanent wiring.
Third, don't overload your system. One outlet per device.
Fourth, weatherproof your connections with in-use covers. And finally, respect those power lines. Regular maintenance brings total peace of mind and actually protects your home.
It really does. And as we wrap up, I want to leave you with a broader question to ponder.
Oh, I like these. Lay it on us.
Think about it. Our homes are becoming increasingly electrified. We're talking about hydro additions like the EV chargers and new construction ADUs that Copperfield Electric installs. As that happens, how might the hidden stress on your older outdoor electrical systems be silently growing?
That is a great question.
And more importantly, what steps will you take today to ensure your home's infrastructure is truly ready for the future?
Man, that's something to seriously think about. The grid is evolving, and our homes have to keep pace safely.
Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into outdoor electrical safety. We hope this gives you the tools to protect your home's unseen armor. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you next time.